Hey guys, so normally I don't do trailer reviews. Normally I just do full film reviews or I talk about film ideas and stuff, but there was a trailer I watched recently and you may have heard of it. It's called Creed 2. It blew my mind and I had to do a quick video just to tell you how much I loved it, what I'm excited for and what I think is going to happen. Before we start, if you haven't seen Creed 2 trailer, then please do go back and do watch it. Obviously there are going to be a few little spoilers here as well about some of the Rocky franchise and the Creed film. I know some people may have not seen it, so just to warn you, there will be spoilers.
You have been warned.
Now before we start, I am a massive Rocky fan. Big Stallone fan in all honesty, but Rocky is outstanding. Now I'm going to tell you a little story. I may repeat it again in one of my other videos because it's one of those stories that, I don't know, always sticks in my mind. And I'm 24 years old, so I didn't really live through the whole Rocky era. So I didn't really know too much about him when I was a young kid. You know, I'd never even heard of him, I'd never watched anything until I reached the age of 12. Now when I was 12, it was 2006, and that is when the trailer dropped for Rocky Balboa, aka Rocky 6. Now I remember watching the trailer. Now I'd never seen Rocky beforehand, I never knew anything about Rocky, but I watched the trailer for that film about Rocky. You know, he's in his late 50s, he's making his comeback, and I don't know, it just did something to me. It just made me want to see it, and I was desperate to see it. But I hadn't seen any of the other Rocky films, but I just knew I had to see this film. I knew this film was going to do something for me, and I knew that it was going to be a brilliant film. Just had that feeling in my gut. Hadn't seen the other ones. Now that is a bit of a difficulty when this is number 6. I got my mum to book tickets and she booked it, and basically it was in something like 5 or 6 days time, and I was like, God, but I do need to see the other ones. What am I going to do? A family member basically gave me all of the Rocky films, Rocky 1 to 5 on VHS. I was on my own personal mission. I wanted to watch all 5 of them before I see number 6 at the cinema. So what I was doing was I was watching them before I go to school. Then I'll come back. First thing I'll do is come in, stick the video on, have dinner, stick a video on again, over and over and over again. And then I remember, like, even on the last day, I remember watching just the end of Rocky 5, which not that great, we'll talk about another time, and then going to cinema and seeing Rocky Balboa, and it changed everything for me. It just changed the way I looked at film and the storytelling and the characterization and the fact that, you know, number 5 wasn't brilliant. I mean, at the time I was like, oh my god, Rocky, but you know, it wasn't brilliant. Then they brought out Rocky 6 and that was amazing. Then, thankfully, Creed came along. Now I was excited for the first Creed film. I was really excited. I had a few reservations about it, but when I went to see it, it again blew my mind. It brought me back to that feeling of, you know, watching the old Rocky films. It was different, it was gripping, it was gritty, you know, it wasn't too over the top, and I liked Rocky's story in it. I liked that he had a big part in it, but also I fell in love with Adonis' character, and I thought, you know, it sort of rekindled those feelings of what I felt back when I was 12 years old watching all the Rocky films. I thought, well, you know, I've missed all the excitement of all the Rocky films coming out one after the other, but now I get to almost relive it with Creed. I feel like I have the same feeling as what it would have been for my dad, example, or for anyone who lived through the Rocky era. I was hoping for a Creed 2, and you know, here we are. I've been reading a lot about Creed 2 over the years, about Dolph Lundgren coming back as Ivan Drago. You know, I've heard rumours that Apollo Creed's going to appear in it somehow. You know, I mean, that, well, I don't know what happened with that rumour. Maybe he comes back in a flashback, maybe comes back in a form where he talks to Creed, I don't know, but it could just be a silly rumour. You know, and Rocky's going to be back in there, of course, and you know, and I'm excited, and I was excited just reading it. And when the first trailer dropped a couple of months ago, it blew me away just because of the hard-hitting music again. I mean, I know Ryan Coogler wasn't going to be involved, but you know, I felt like he'd set it up nicely with the first one for someone to take it over, and I think it's only going to get better. And the second trailer dropped, and oh my god, it is awesome. I've watched it about 2 or 3 times now. It is brilliant. And you know, we get our first shots of Dolph Lundgren back as Ivan Drago. You know, he doesn't really, I'm sure he doesn't speak in it, I'm certain he doesn't say anything in it. He just sort of sat in the background, because I was thinking in number 4 he was quite quiet anyway. Number 4 he didn't really say a lot of because he was more intimidating just by looking at him. See his son as well. You see the son's physicality is almost matching what he had in Rocky 4, if not more. And then you've got Rocky trying to warn Creed, look, just don't do this. And Rocky says, you know, things have been broken inside me that have never healed from that fight. You know, and that's obviously relating to, you know, losing his best friend at the time, Apollo Creed. But also, you know, physically getting beaten the shit out of. Same time, Creed's wife, I can't remember her name, Creed's girlfriend, Creed's wife is, you know, they've got a kid, and they're now saying, and she's saying, look, just don't do it. And the mother's saying, don't do it. But he wants to do it. And it's evident, you see some of the training scenes as well, you know, they're rough and they're brutal and it's hard hitting, and he's getting like whacked in the ribs by Rocky. And, you know, it's going to be a very big emotional roller coaster. The music in it is, you know, it sort of gears you up and gears you up for the fight. It's going to be an amazing film. I mean, I remember, you know, Rocky 4 wasn't my favourite Rocky films at all. Not by a long shot. I mean, it was good fun, but other than that, could have been better. But I'm going to be talking about that another time. But I like the fact that they brought Ivan Drago back. I like that it still, you know, exists very much in the Rocky universe. But I don't think it's going to be completely about Ivan Drago, which I kind of like. You know, I like that they brought him back. You know, I like that he's back in the film. I like it's not going to be a fight between him and Rocky. You know, I'd love to see maybe a bit more of an emotional side to Drago, just sort of like Drago having some regrets in life. You know, I do wonder whether he's going to come back as just somebody who just doesn't care and who's just, you know, hard as nails like he was in Rocky 4, or whether he's going to come back and he's going to be like, look, I'm sorry about what I did. Whether he's going to have more of a part in it, more of a talking part in it, more of a bit of role into the story. I look forward to, you know, even looking in the clips when you've got Stallone's relationship, you know, Rocky's relationship with Creed, and, you know, watching them work together and watching them talk together. And I think it's going to be very powerful, and I think it's going to be a brilliant story. And I honestly think Stallone's going to get nominated for another Oscar. I honestly think that he will, and I hope he wins. I really do hope he wins, because he is a tremendous actor, and I think in this one he's especially going to act his socks off even more than what he did in Creed, even more than Rocky Balboa, I reckon. I think he's going to be a very strong part of the franchise. Can't wait to watch Creed 2 in the cinemas. I cannot wait to be cheering on for Creed to win, and I do think he's going to win this fight. I do have a good feeling. I think he's going to be brutally damaged, but I think he's going to win the fight, and it's going to be one of the epic fights of all time. And will there be a third? Yeah, there'll be a third. I'm just praying they don't kill off Rocky. I'm praying they don't do a Mickey, because I won't handle it. It'd be very upsetting. I just hope Rocky just stays on. I hope there's about a few more Creed films, and I think they're only going to get better and better. And I think as long as Stallone's involved, and as long as you've got Michael B. Jordan playing Creed, I think it's going to go on for a long, long time. The trailer is awesome. The trailer is brilliant. It doesn't reveal overly too much. It reveals enough. Watch it below. There's a link in the description bit below. Give it a watch. Let me know what you think, because I just can't wait. I may even have to do like a Rocky marathon before. I may even review all the Rocky films and Creed 1 all the way up to Creed 2. It's out in cinemas in the UK. I'm sure it's November the 30th. I think it's out a week before in the US. It's going to be an epic film. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster. And, you know, will Apollo appear in it somewhere? Carl Weathers? I've got a feeling he might do a flashback. Just got a feeling. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe up here. You can also watch my latest videos up here. And, yeah, thanks for your support. And just feel free to share this video around. And, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Cheers. Bye.